Hey, this is Stephen Rothberg with College Recruiter, and I am here with Peter Zollman of the AIM Group. We're in Berlin for the RecBuzz conference.
Yep, we had a great German Publishers Day. Lots of people really appreciating it. Today's the first day of the conference, and all's good.
Yeah, so the German publishers, that wasn't just recruitment marketplaces,
No,
right? That
but
was like auto,
it was
real
about,
estate.
No, it was about recruitment marketplaces
Okay.
among the German publishers. And I didn't attend because it was all in German. I have the German name. They call me Herr Zollman here, and I don't speak a word of German.
Well, and I was
I do say Danke and Guten Tag, but that's about it.
You're being polite. I was in Rothenburg, Germany. Beautiful little city. And so, yes, I think I have 6 words of German, all of which probably sound to them like I'm speaking Swahili.
Fair enough. So,
tell me about the conference.
Conference is, this is our 6th or 7th or 8th.
Okay.
Biggest ever, best ever. And we're just excited. We wish you were here. And if you're watching here, then we're glad you're here.
Next year in Barcelona.
Next year.
I got the scoop.
That's the secret. That'll be announced tomorrow.
Okay.
So next year somewhere, but it might be on the Mediterranean coast in Spain. Anyway, let's get past that because there's big news.
Huge news.
Yes, indeed,
there's huge news.
Indeed, there's huge news. Oh, Stephen, and now people can see me rolling my eyes. Indeed.
Yeah.
Backed off on you will take click per paper application, or you won't take it at all.
Right.
They had forced it down recruiters' throats in the United States. It went over badly, mainly I think because they rolled it out badly, not because it was a bad idea.
Yep.
But it went badly, and holy smokes, they backed off.
Yeah.
And to their great credit, they took care of the people who got burned. Many small businesses got burned, got a bill for $1,500 when they were expecting a bill for $400 or $300. They took
ownership.
They took ownership.
Mm-hmm.
They have now said we're going to offer pay-per-click alongside paper application.
Right.
We believe that paper application will be better. We will show you that paper application is better, but you get your choice. And that way, over time, I'm quite certain they will migrate people to paper application.
Yeah.
So in a year and a half, 2 years, pay-per-click will probably just kind of vanish.
Yeah.
But for now, you can choose the way you advertise it. And for small businesses, that overcomes the issue. So
in the AIM Group's recruitment intelligence report, read this morning that it was Greg Spencer, I think, that did the writing.
Greg wrote it.
So
he tracked it down too. It's not just that he wrote it.
I was in a hotel room in Hamburg, so it was a little bit like rushed through this. If I understand correctly, I easily couldn't, so definitely set me straight. They had already rolled it out to SMBs in the US, right? That was January 1st, something like that, right? It's been 3, 4, 5 months, something like that.
A little less than that, I think, but yeah, whatever.
The UK, I think that SMBs and enterprise had already been forced to CPA.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure about the timeline, but the US,
they had
enterprise was going to start in like 2 weeks, like May 1st or something, right?
I'm a little unclear on the details.
Okay.
But the bottom line is they backed down.
Yeah.
The bottom line is they're still going to offer paper application.
If you want it.
If you want it. I presume they'll make it the default, but they're going to put the pay-per-click much more prominent. Pay-per-click if you really went hunting for it.
Okay.
But I don't know that. I haven't posted a job on either Indeed or Zip for a year, 2 years. And when the pay per apply came out,
Yeah.
I said to myself, we had kind of defaulted to Indeed.
Okay.
We're tiny. Technically, we don't hire anybody, but we advertise for people to come work for us on contract. And we switched Indeed, Zip, Indeed, Zip, Indeed, Zip. And we got to the point where we were pretty much Indeed.
Yeah.
And the minute pay per application came out, I said, Zip wins. Because 95% of the applications I get are useless. And so we'd have to be hitting the delete constantly, fast, to get rid of all the useless ones.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to be risking that.
Yeah.
And so I said Zip. Now we'll take a hard look at Zip versus Indeed again.
One thing that I'm wondering, maybe Indeed hasn't released the information yet. Maybe some of the people who are watching this will know and they can chime in the comments. I'm wondering if you're an enterprise level company, you're going to have loads of positions where you might say, this is better for CPA. I want to pay by application. You might have other positions where you'd rather pay per click. I wonder whether a customer has to do one or the other for all, or whether they can do some jobs per application, some jobs per click. That'll be interesting. That's
clearly, I have no idea.
Yeah.
My guess would be that they will allow you to choose
on a job by job basis.
Job by job, or posting by posting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Greg, our crackerjack writer, he really has become our rock star.
Cool.
Kind of fell into the article, and he was supposed to interview a senior level Indeed executive yesterday or today. So we'll get a lot more detail from him. The article had already been written for our recruitment annual, which comes out next week, saying Indeed clearly forgot the lessons of new Coke versus old Coke.
Yeah.
And don't roll out something new that ticks off your customers.
Yeah.
And that was all written and it was laid out, and we're tearing that up.
Yeah.
And we're going to adapt the article, but he'll be much smarter about it tomorrow. And I'm not all that smart about it. He's our main guy.
It's the benefit of publishing digitally, though, right?
Yeah.
If this was like a physical magazine you printed a month ago.
Well, but the funny thing is, we do PDFs.
Yeah.
People still want the PDF.
Oh, yeah.
We do a PDF in-group marketplaces report if you want it.
Yeah.
We do PDFs. But in one case last year or 2 years ago, we had an article and published the report.
Okay.
And the next day, the company completely changed everything. We within 24 hours, we did an analysis. We wrote it up. We published the new version of the report.
Yeah.
Put the first 6 page, the new article, did not change the page numbers, and sent it back out to all our clients and made it available. So yes, digital publishing works, even though it was a PDF. That's such old technology. But we periodically ask our clients, do you still want this PDF? And invariably we get yes. Anyway, back to LinkedIn.
Yeah. Indeed.
Back to Indeed, rather. Boy, do they deserve credit.
Yeah.
You know, if you remember the old adage from the startups, fail fast, learn something, and move on. I wouldn't call this a fail because it's going to be pay per application in a year, year and a half, 2 years.
Yep.
But they screwed up. They owned it.
Yeah.
They backed off.
Yeah.
And now they're going to do it more elegantly.
Totally agree. I love the way to, just before we leave off, I love the way to how now employers are going to have a choice. Right. Because one of the things Indeed has been consistently saying since the fall when they announced this was employers are asking for this. And I believe it. that a lot of their customers were asking for that. That doesn't mean that every customer was asking for it. It didn't mean that when reality hit home, that those customers that said they wanted it were ready for it. But now they're actually going to have a choice. They're going to vote with their wallets. And if 97% is cost per click, this will transition slower. But if it's 90% and a month from now it's 80% and then it's 70%, I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're right. It's going to be a year or two for markets like the US and the UK and Canada. And then other markets like here in Germany might be a year later.
Or establish it more quickly, actually.
It could be.
The interesting thing is Greg spoke to them and they said they're going to aggressively show the difference and show why pay-per application will work better for you. Now,
yes. If you had run this ad on a pay-per application basis, this is what you would have paid. I love it.
They're brilliant people.
Oh, yeah.
As evidenced by the fact that they have twice the job board traffic of any other company in the world, and they make, they bought it for $1 billion, and now it produces $3 billion in revenue a year.
And people thought they were crazy.
A year.
When Recruit bought Indeed and what they paid, people thought they were crazy.
People thought they were nuts, and they were those people were wrong. So they're brilliant. I still don't have a complete grasp of exactly what they did or how they did it, but I'll tell you what happened very briefly. Yesterday morning, I was in Berlin, and our spotter sent a news release from Indeed, and I looked at it and I went, "There's nothing new here. This is what they announced a year ago, 6 months ago." 4 hours later, when Greg got up in the States, he sent a note to several of us saying, "Is there anything new here? It seems like the same old stuff." So I sent back a note saying it seemed like the same old stuff to me. So he said, "I'll get in touch with Indeed and see what the difference is." And that's how he found out. And that's good reporting. And so I've been on the phone today with the Wall Street Journal asking questions about it. They wanted to know how Indeed had shifted and so forth. So
cool.
Bottom line is Indeed backs off on the requirement that you use pay-per application.
Yep.
They'll offer both. Probably the transitions back is pretty easy. And this will become, rather than a forced buy, it'll become an evolutionary buy. And good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
absolutely.
for them. And you and I know pay-per application has been coming for years, and it will be the standard until we finally, which may be never, figure out pay-per hire.
Oh, good luck with that.
Which is, but I mean, if you think about it.
No, I totally agree. Theoretically,
that is exactly the way the world should work.
Right.
Practically ain't ever going to happen.
Yeah.
But theoretically, that's how it should work.
Yeah. Well, cool. So I think that when we get to the networking reception for the RecBuzz Berlin event, that AIM Group should buy us a drink so that we can toast Greg for the reporting.
Sounds good to me. We are definitely planning to toast Greg.
Sweet. Well, cool.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah. And for the listeners, if you like this, thumbs up it, share it with your network, and
we do it every other week,
Yep.
maybe more often. So join us.
Cheers.
Thanks.